Our first pre-final of the day. They're just bunching up now the second formation lap. It's the junior pre-final. There is the grid on screen. It's a 9-lap race. The results of this give us the grid for the final to come later on this afternoon. So on row 1, Axel Charpentier, who just heard from on RGMMC TV, he's cart 88. 64 is Ollie Caldwell. Had a great day yesterday as well. On row 2, 31, Joe Phillips, and 16, Carlos Saville-Martin. Row 3, Adam Smalley on his debut, getting pole on Friday, and he starts 5th on the grid for the pre-final in cart 25. Georg Kos, number 35 from Estonia, alongside him. On row 4, Tom Canning, number 38, and Mark Kimber, number 7. Row 5, Kilian Meyer is number 26. And Arnaud Malizia, the French driver, is number 30. Row 6, Tamino Bergmeier. Excellent drives from the German yesterday to come through from lowly grid positions. Number 33 will be one to watch from the inside of row 6. Oscar Palomo Ortiz, the Spanish driver, number 99, is alongside. Row 7, we got 100 Ruben Del Sart and 36 Laurie Lepper, who also made good progress yesterday. Row 8, 45 Piotr Wisnicki and Matthias Jakob Oja, number 20. Row 9, number 42, Pepin Kreichfeld, number 37, and to complete the top 20, the 10th row of the grid is 23, Conor McCarthy, and Yasin Farati, number 22. There are 34 of them. It's a 9-lap race, and it's about to get underway. In the Winter Cup, we are go. Axel Charpentier's got the inside line and should be able to hold that and convert it into pole position. It's whether the outside man, Ollie Caldwell, can go with him. I don't think he's been able to do that. He's dropped a place. Yes, Joe Phillips has gone into second, so Caldwell third. It's a tight squeeze through the chicane. We've got 2, 3 off on the grass. We've got one pointing in the wrong direction who gets going again, and that is the number 33 cart of Tamino Bergmeier, I'm afraid. All that work to get up the grid yesterday, and it's all gone wrong already. Tamino at the back of the field has got to do it all over again. Meanwhile, second and third, absolutely wheel to wheel as they go into the turn 7 left-hander, and a change of position. Joe Phillips has to concede, and it's back up to second place for Ollie Caldwell. So already the race leader, Axel Charpentier, is about 6 lengths down the road as they go into turn 9. Absolutely flat out through this right-hander, he was telling me last night. And then it's on the brakes for Axel Charpentier, the race leader, into the chicane for this first of 9 laps. But second, third, fourth and fifth, they're all tied together, Matt.
Yeah, what a cracking start from everybody. Then they go down towards turn 1 for a second time. Who's going to try and make a move this time round is Georg Kos, who goes for a move on the inside of Adam Smalley. Both of those guys have had fantastic starts. Adam comes from 5th on the grid, up now back to 5th. And Georg Kos came from the outside of row number 3, now finds himself in 4th position. So cracking starts for both of them. Just ahead the 2 teammates at the minute, we've got Ollie Caldwell in 2nd, and down there as well Joe Phillips in 3rd place. So look out for both of those, but can they challenge our race leader Axel Charpentier, who has a lead of just over half a second at the end of the first lap? But it's coming down and down now, because those behind are going to work together, going to try and close that gap and see what they can do. The one that's looking really racy in 4th place is Georg Kos. He's all over the back of 2nd and 3rd for now, and Georg Kos, we saw him earlier on in the weekend through practice, looking really, really strong. Here he comes down towards the final corner. Doesn't quite go for a move there, but he's looking potentially like a threat in towards turn number 1. Here they go once again, across the line, on towards the 3rd lap of the race, and Georg Kos dives down straight away to the inside line of Joe Phillips, and into 3rd place he goes at turn number 1, and Adam Smalley almost followed suit there.
Best start of the race has gone to Siim Liedmar, number 27, from 22nd on the grid, gaining 12 places on that first lap. Lost a place on the second lap, but making great ground and getting up just outside the top 10, the Estonian driver. At the head of the field into turn 5 it is for the race leader, Axel Charpentier. 2nd place for Ollie Caldwell. That's where they started, 1st and 2nd on the grid. Georg Kos is in 3rd place. Joe Phillips is in 4th place now. Tom Canning's up to 5th. And Adam Smalley is there in 6th place. Carlos Saville-Martin, the Spanish driver, 7th at the moment. And just going up to 8th place is Mark Kimber in the middle of that lap. So Mark Kimber gaining a place, getting back to where he started from that 4th row start position. And the brakes, hot on the brakes into the chicane. Right, left, right, and then try to set themselves up for some slipstreaming down this very windy straight. Down in the headwind they go. And Tom Canning is pulling alongside now Joe Phillips to try and gain a position. And up to 4th he goes, on the way into turn number 1. If you're at the head of the group, there's nothing you can do. There's so much headwind. The person behind just tucks in behind you. You hit the brick of air, and they benefit from a huge slipstream down that straight, and to an extent as well into turn 7, which is the straight in the middle of the lap, which runs in the same direction. But up front, Matt, Axel Charpentier no longer has a comfortable advantage.
Not at all, no. It's down to 0.2 of a second, and here comes the move from Ollie Caldwell. He gave a little bump to the back of Axel Charpentier there, just to make him aware he's in his toe, he's with him, and he's looking to take the lead of the race away as well. But great fights up front. Top three just about have enough margin now over a fourth place man, which is going to be that of Tom Canning. What a drive so far from Tom. Quite surprised he was so far down after starting on the inside row off the start-finish line. But he's now back up there, working his way through, finds himself now in what's going to be fourth position. But here comes the move possible for the lead changes. Axel Charpentier goes for a defensive line into the first corner. He keeps it nice and tight, but how will that hamper him on the exit of the corner? The top four all still together. What can Ollie Caldwell do in second? And more importantly, what can Tom Canning do in fourth place as well? They are your top four. There again looks like a brief move down the inside, but Tom can't quite get it done as of yet because Your Kos has the move and the line covered. Watch out for those behind as well. 5th, 6th and 7th. Joe Phillips, Carlos Savon-Martin and Mark Kimber all could be a potential top 5 finisher because they're all bunched together. Top 7 through turn number 7, but no change as of yet on this lap.
We've done 4.5 laps out of the 9, so we're exactly halfway into the race now, and the top 7 are still glued together. And you're right, Mark Kimber has got himself onto the back of the train now in cart number 7, and he's looking pretty racy. He's close enough to pick up a toe if he can stay with them through the chicane. The top 4 are together. It's a slight gap, and then you've got 5th, 6th and 7th nose to tail. Now, here comes Ollie Caldwell, pulls alongside, adjusts the carburation, wheel to wheel into turn number 1, and we've got a new race leader, Caldwell through. Charpentier down to second place. He made it hard, but he was fair as well. And he knows he might get another chance to get the lead back in the not too distant future. We got Tom Canning there in 3rd place as well. He got ahead of Gord Kos while all that was going on. And Carlos Savon-Martin is 5th there with a bright green helmet. Going well, the Spanish driver. Caldwell out wide. Charpentier goes through. It's down to 4th place all of a sudden for Caldwell. So he just off the line, and they all came steaming through. And we're going to get another change of lead because Charpentier leads for one corner. And then he then pulls along the next driver and loses out on the way into the left-hand hairpin. So I think he's going to be 3rd in a second as well, Charpentier, quite possibly. So it's Tom Canning that's got himself up front with that move at turn number 7. Charpentier has held 2nd place, I think, just about into the chicane they come. It's any one of 7 for this race as they go through to start another lap. Onto lap 7 they go. Canning leads. Charpentier 2nd. Gord Kos back up to 3rd place. Charpentier down the inside into turn number 1 again. Squeezes through. Back up front. Canning down to 2nd. Gord Kos 3rd. And Mark Kimber's come up to 4th place.
This is fantastic racing to watch for the first of our pre-finals today from the juniors. Again, the top 3 just have a slight advantage now over the rest of the pack. But again, one slight mistake in one corner, it bunches them all together once more. But Axel Charpentier is your leader by literally tenths of a second. But now as he works his way on towards the short straight down towards turn 7, just tries to build up the gap once more. We've got in 2nd place Tom Canning. 3rd place at the minute is Your Kos. 4th place then for Mark Kimber. And then all the teammates together with Ollie Caldwell, Carlos Savon-Martin and Joe Phillips, who has dropped down the order since the starting grid. He's now finding himself in 7th place. Axel Charpentier comes down towards the final corner with the pressure once more on his tail. It gets closer and closer for those 7 carts who work their way back on towards the start-finish line. What's going to happen this time at turn 1? Great run comes from Tom Canning in 2nd place, but everyone goes for the inside line. They want to keep it defensive. They want to keep the door closed. They want to keep their positions within this race. No change as of yet. Still Axel ahead of Tom, but now a move from 4th. Mark Kimber down the inside of Your Kos. He gets the job done at turn number 3, and everybody, just like that, click of the fingers, follows through as well. So the man who was there has dropped down. There's contact further back. 2 of the teammates, or no, possibly not. One of them is the Cosmic Cart of...
Ollie Caldwell's been sent into a spin. He's got going again, but pointing, I'm afraid, in the wrong direction and struggling to get going again is Joe Phillips. So that's a wait for the train to come through because he was pointed in the wrong direction, and he's going to slip way down the order. Those two just banged wheels on the way into the right-hander in the first part of turn 4. So I'm afraid they're going to absolutely tumble down the order. Caldwell is going to be 12th, no, further down, 14th when he settles into position. And Williams is almost at the back of the field, Phillips rather, is almost at the back of the field as the race leaders come through to start the final lap of the race. Charpentier looking over his shoulder. Kimber's behind him to his left. He's got the number 35 cart of Gord Kos. We go to the final lap with everybody wheel to wheel, and nobody wanted to go in a straight line. They're all weaving and ducking and diving to try and cover their line. But as they come out of the turn, it's still Charpentier that leads. Kimber in 2nd place, right with him. And then you've got Tom Canning back up to third place. Carlos Savon-Martin in fourth position. Somebody's gone straight on. Is that Gort Koss, I think, has gone straight on at the chicane, so he's dropped out of it. But Matt, we got 8 of them together with half a lap to go.
This is so exciting, and exactly the two guys who found themselves towards the front in one of the heats yesterday into the final corner. Mark Kimber bumped Axel Charpentier through the gravel. What would happen on this occasion? Axel still leads. Mark Kimber is there. He's a cork in a bottle. Everyone wants to get through, but they can't find any bit of track to get past. But Axel leads onto the last couple of corners. On this last lap, his teammate Mark Kimber is alongside into the penultimate corner. Down towards the chicane they come. Which way is it going to go? Mark Kimber looks for the inside line. Again, Axel goes very defensive through the corner on towards the start-finish line. Axel Charpentier tries to defend from Mark Kimber, who just about does it there. Axel Charpentier didn't have the most speed through the final corner, but somehow, once again by his fingertips, held on to the lead of the race. He wins the pre-final here at Valencia in Spain. Mark Kimber comes through in second. He loses out by just 20 thousandths of a second, but it's a 1-2 for Strawberry Racing. Third place to the Brit, Tom Canning. Fourth place for the Spaniard, Carlos Savon-Martin. And then behind that, we've got the likes of Laszlo Tuth. We've got Dalsate in there in 6th place. Adam Smalley dropped down through that race into 7th. And we saw as well Sima Lederman in 8th, 9th place for Laurie Lepper, and 10th place for Killian Meyer. But what a race from start to finish, and no let up from anyone there. But what a drive from Axel Charpentier. As we said, he had to defend every single corner because everybody wanted to get through. But a great drive from Axel, puts him once again on pole for the final, and we'll see how he goes from that one. But disappointment from your cost, Chris. You didn't quite get the result you wanted there.